Alright, hi guys, it's Rilo, and as you know, yesterday I just put out a Skate video, kind of a retrospective, just going over the first game, and I figured, you know what, maybe I'll check on Skate 2025. And just to see, is it better? Have they added more things? So, I played this game at launch week. I put about 5 hours into it and then just gave up on it completely. I couldn't take it anymore. So yeah, I guess the first place to start is, are the Steam reviews any better than they were? Alright, so we're still sitting at mixed, not off to a great start. Going over the positive reviews, it kind of seems like a lot of these people are going with the, well, the game's fun with friends, and I hate that as a positive. Every video game ever made that has the ability to do co-op is fun with friends, because it's your friends that are making the game fun. So I don't really consider that a real positive. But yeah, the obvious problems are still here, it looks like, just based on the reviews, but I guess I gotta jump in myself. Alright, so we're not off to a great start. They want us to buy this new skate pass. No thank you. And I guess there's some St. Patty's holiday tie-in that they're currently doing. I did one of the missions. It's literally just the same missions you've been doing with the, currency added to it now. I'm good. And yeah, welcome to Season 3. So they did add some new tricks. You can do dark slides. So they're coming back from Skate 3. And they did add some other tricks, I think, which, yeah, that's fine. But, one of the big things is the Island of Grom, but I'm not spending any money on this game. And I find it funny, with the reception this game got, I would have thought they would have tried to, get some good grace with people and, maybe give this out, or at least temporarily give it out. There is limited free access next month, but it's limited, so there's that. Yeah, I think it's funny. And then you get this premium currency they throw in your face. No thank you. None of this stuff even looks even remotely cool. There is absolutely no skate culture here. It is complete rubbish. So the UI is pretty baffling for a publisher like EA. It is so crowded and so messy that finding things is ridiculously overcomplicated. You have 4 currencies in the top right. Every inch of it is trying to sell you something. So yeah, you're going to be spending a lot of time in these menus just fiddling with it and trying to figure out what you're doing. So eventually I make it to the map and figure out, okay, then I gotta look at my goals and stuff. But the map, nothing explains to you what goals you should be working on and where you should be going. So getting to the main quest was fun. But yeah, it's just all of this is look at this currency that you should buy, and that's really all it is. It's just a terrible UI. So I started the game going to what I think is the main quest, and it's just a series of getting me to interact with these social systems that I have no interest in interacting with. It's so awkward. I have to join these open parties of people who aren't currently skating and teleport to them, and I have to do this 4 times. So 4 times I have to navigate through this menu and teleport, and it's if I wanted to do this stuff, I would figure it out. I don't need a quest to do it. And I eventually gave up, because then at the end of this, they want me to do co-op missions, and I don't know anyone else who plays this game. I have no interest in playing with other people. I just want to do skate stuff on my own. It's just annoying. I don't understand what they were going for with this. If they wanted this to be a social game, then they should have put in systems that allowed it to be more seamless, I guess. I know you can technically queue for certain objectives with other people, but yeah, I don't know. It's just so awkward. Just jumping into a random person's party for some quest. It's and this, I think, is a part of the main quest chain, so I don't understand why it's there. If it was an optional side quest, I would get it, but yeah, forcing me into this now is just ridiculous. So I gave up on whatever the main quest chain was, and I decided just to go do some side quest, and to my disappointment, it's exactly the same as it was when I first played this on launch week. You're doing these pretty boring skate lines, collecting bearings. This just feels like something that was ripped right out of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. the skate lines themselves, I don't mind. They kind of just remind me of the video challenges from the original skate games, but you'll have to collect these bearings and you have to do certain objectives per section. And like a big thing is like they don't let you off your board. You have to do these all in one to get the full quest reward, I guess. But the game, like, I don't know, like when you get the first objective, it's checked marked. So like there's no way of knowing if you're meeting that objective again. Well, I guess there's no easy way of knowing if you're meeting that objective again. See, like once I grind to 35, it's gonna get checked, and it's not gonna uncheck itself. So I eventually gave up trying to do this all in one attempt because I wasn't wasting any time on this. This is just boring. Like compare this to like the most boring quest in Skate 3, and at least that game, like, it still feels like a skateboarding game. Like the most boring quest in those games were like the follow quest, but you know what, I mean, at least you have like some interaction with the NPCs and like you're having dialogue and there's Rita in the background. I don't know, this is just soulless to me. It's just boring. I don't know, there's nothing exciting here. I gave them the benefit of the doubt that maybe this was just going to be the starter quest, but you know what, at this point they're pushing seasons now, even though the game is still in early access, which I find is hilarious. I expect the quest design to be way better than it currently is, but it's just boring. I have no desire to keep doing these types of quests. So apparently I unlock stuff at the skate shop, and I go ahead and check it, and it is the most boring rewards I've ever seen. Well, I guess not I've ever seen. The most boring rewards I've seen since I originally played this at launch. They've still not improved on this at all. I get 2 generic grip tape options, some banner logo. I don't know. That's one of the massive issues I have with this game, and it's still not fixed months later. I have no desire to play this game if the reward system is boring. That's just the baseline of any video game. If a reward is boring, then no one's going to play your game. And you know, that's the issue I had. The quests are boring, so if the rewards are also boring, then I have no reason to play this. It just hasn't improved, I guess. I don't know. Apparently I unlocked a bunch of stuff and I look at it and it's just like I had some random deck reward, and honestly I didn't even open it because like I don't care. I know it's going to be some generic non-brand deck because they don't have actual skate brands in this game, at least for the most part. I think there is a couple, like I know I have Vans on currently, but yeah, I guess they haven't started licensing that out yet. And you know, at this point it's been months and they're charging for seasons, and they're charging for season passes. I expect them to put these brands in. I'm not, why am I skating and working for these generic non-brand items? Like, they mean nothing to me. They're boring. I don't want them. Like, seriously, this should be basic sense. We've had skateboarding games for almost 30 years at this point. Like mainstream, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 is almost 30 years old at this point. Like, this shit should be pretty common knowledge. Alright, so I played this game meandering around for a few hours and I just gave up. You know, I don't get it. This game feels like an eternity. Skate 1, 2, and 3, I could pick up those games. Anytime I do, I'm locked in for hours and it goes by quick. This game, it's a torture to play for me. I can't get into it, and it's just, I just can't. It feels like forever. I just hate it. I don't hate it. You know, I guess now I should go over maybe my pros, mixed, and cons list. I did type this out, so pulling it up now. So, my first pro. The skating itself feels pretty good, actually. Sure, it's more arcadey than I'd probably prefer, and it does seem a bit odd, like you can like grind up a rail and like still maintain your momentum, and like, I don't know, it's very arcadey. Like, in some ways it feels closer to a Tony Hawk game. But you know what? It's responsive. They've added some new things here and there. Like transitioning between grinds is actually pretty satisfying. So yeah, I mean, the skating itself feels fine. I think overall the gameplay, moving around, it all feels good. Even like the new like flying mechanics and like the rolling around mechanics and the climbing mechanics, like that all, it works okay. I think if there was a better game designed around all this stuff, it actually could work pretty well. So that is a pro for me. It does feel good to actually skate in this game. You know, tricks feel good. I don't ever feel like I'm getting the wrong input. So I never really have any issues with the skateboarding itself. So that's a good thing, I think. Another thing is the city is actually pretty cool. I don't mind this city. I think it has a lot of character to it. It's pretty well crafted. There's a lot of spots to skate. There's a lot of character. I already said that. It's colorful. You know, there's a lot of like little hidden areas. I like that you can like climb to the top of a building and like you'll get like a nice pool that you can skate in. So yeah, I mean, the city itself, like, it's fine. I think, again, there could have been a better game designed around this city with like actual story, actual cutscenes that would have made it a lot better. But I think it's a start. And looking at like the island of Grom, like that also looked okay, I guess. Like I said prior, I'm not paying to skate in it, so there's that. But yeah, the base city that you start in that you get for free, this game, you know, it's fine looking. I have no issues there. So I guess I'm gonna move on to my mixed because I don't really have many pros here. So in theory, I don't mind the option to have like an always online mode. And I do kind of appreciate seeing other skaters skating around, looking at spots and seeing what they're doing. That's fine, but the fact that that is the only mode in this game keeps it in the mixed category. I really dislike that this game is always online. For me, I think this game could have actually been like a cool handheld, like Steam Deck thing to have. Like if I could play it on the go. If I could just have my own little offline world where I can work on like offline challenges. But no, this is an always online live service game, so we can't have that. And for me, that automatically makes it a mixed thing. Because like I said, I mean, the online here isn't too bad. Like I said, it's cool to see other players interacting in the world because there's no NPCs like we had in the previous games, so they kind of make up for it, I guess, in a way. But yeah, it's mixed because there's a lack of an offline mode. And I guess now I'm just going to move into my cons. So let's start with the missions. These missions are just boring, repetitive, and completely uninspired. And traveling between them is extremely tedious when it wasn't in the first game. So to get fast travel in this game, you have to go to the bus stops and you have to do stuff to unlock them. I don't even really remember what they were. I wasn't doing that today. And even then, the bus stops are kind of limited in how they're spread throughout the world. I mean, if I skate 1, 2, and 3, I would pick a logo on the map and fast travel to it. Here, you have to tediously skate in between missions. So you're doing these boring missions, and you also don't have the ability to at least, like, conveniently travel to them. And that just, I think, is one of the reasons why it feels like playing this game just feels like an eternity. The V-Bot is atrocious. I think this game would be better off without it. It is like the toxic positivity robot that compliments you on everything you're doing and is trying to replace Rita, but has absolutely none of the character that Rita had in the previous games. The V-Bot is terrible, and I actually think just not having it would make the game better. So yeah, get rid of the V-Bot, please. The monetization in this game is out of control. There's too many currencies. Anytime this game has an opportunity to advertise to you, it takes it. All of like the neat looking stuff is monetized, so all the free stuff is boring, which I guess is standard in a free-to-play live service game, but I'm obviously going to list it as a con because I don't want that in my skate games. And even then, like, to me, the rewards are just uninteresting. I already touched on this, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the content is locked behind a battle pass now, and the base game stuff hasn't really changed from when I first played it. It's still just boring. You know, like I said in the pros, I mean, skating is fun, but I have nothing to do with it. I'm just, you know, I can only skate in the city for so long before I just get bored of it and go back to play maybe one of the old skate games where I'm actually doing fun stuff. Here you kind of have to like use your imagination, and like that just gets old fast, especially when there's better alternatives out there. And yeah, I think the biggest sin of this game is that it's just boring. And making a skate game boring is quite an achievement, man. They really had to work hard for that. Skate could have been fun. You know, the skateboarding itself in the game is actually pretty fine. The city design is fine, but everything else, it just keeps you out of the game. Boring quest, broken social systems, monetization everywhere they can put it, and a bot that just smiles at you too much. You know, months later, I came back hoping for some improvement, and honestly, it's just more of the same. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I got plenty more reviews coming. Still very disappointed in this game. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'm honestly kind of curious. Do you enjoy this game? Do you agree with me? Do you dislike it for different reasons? Let me know.